Get ready, everyone, for Game 4 of this long-running series between Jesulin and Jove. And after losing the last game at the last minute with a fully vetted austere army, Vet 3 King Tiger, Mortar half-track, you name it. This time playing from the south side of Crossroads. As the USF, it is going to be Jesulin. And currently 2-1 in this series. From the north side, playing as the OKW. It is Jove. Jove's last game as OKW didn't go that great against Jesulin's USF. Jove did decide to go heavy into the mechanized regiment and really lost out to some great infantry play by Jesulin. Jesulin was really good at map control on Nexus, but whether or not Jesulin's going to be able to replicate that here is a different story. The cutoffs on this map are slightly different. They're not as severe as what you get on Nexus when you run up the map. So Jesulin may not be able to use that same strategy again. I actually feared Jesulin going for this mechanized company. He did have access to heavy cavalry, and I thought he might decide to go for another long game and use that. But really with Mechanized Company, it's after a certain stage, I think Jesulin's not going to be able to pull it off, so he's got to win in the early game quite big here. Kubel from Jove trying to move this squad out of cover positions. Really nice play there. Kubel's going to likely get some model wipes. Already taken down a lot of health, which is really good at the start of the game. That's going to force Jesulin to get healing. Even when those squads reinforce, they're probably not going to come out with much health. And yeah, that's good from Jove. Didn't have to retreat at all there.
Send orders. What the hell am I meant to do with these?
Jesulin's going to have to decap the fuel immediately. Jove ran straight down to the right-hand side of the map, connected a high-resource fuel point, and is going for his own on the left. Jesulin's got to deal with that straight away, and he does get the strategic decap, which is going to help, but the Kubel's there to reconnect. Now, double fuel at the start for Jove would mean he could go into his mechanized strategy and actually have the lead-in with the Lukes. That's going to be a completely different type of game for Jesulin. Unfortunately, Jesulin just manages to get that decapped. He also takes down the Kubel. And I was worried for a second that the WC-51 had got stuck on the strategic point and perhaps wouldn't get the Kubel. Fortunately, he did, and I think he deserved to. Timed the MG pop on the WC-51 very well. The question now is, can Jesulin decap the left-hand side of the map? He's got to try and get this strategic point to do so.
We're losing a capture point.
At the same time, I think Jesulin wants to get some resources in of his own. Doesn't want to overcommit without a reserve.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Nice to see Jove just preparing for these engagements against USF. Sitting in green cover is a really good opportunity for him to win those engagements at long range. Really not sure what Jesulin's even doing here with the echelons. This is just going to result in model wipes. Lieutenant's going to have a great angle here, actually. He's going to be able to sit in cover and negate the green cover completely. Yeah, I like the play. Jesulin has got some control over this. Stern Pioneers getting up close range, green cover to green cover. I think they should win this engagement. It's a beautiful little stun grenade. And well anticipated by Jesulin. Again, taking a stun grenade there, and it would have been lethal. So even though the last game was nearly an hour and very grueling, I think Jesulin's had a little bit of rest time. Still got all his micro there. First SWS from Jove. We're fully expecting this to be mechanized. He has had a fuel lead.
Our resource sector has been cut off from our supply chain.
Now, with the right play here, Jesulin could actually turn around that that resource advantage that Jove had and take double fuel for himself. He would need to do something special to keep hold of it. Jove is advancing on 3 sides of the maps right now, and these riflemen are not strong enough to hold any Volks Grenadier squad away. But as it stands right now, double fuel for Jesulin.
A capture point is being overrun. Our supply line just got cut off.
This is an exact replica of Game 2 at the moment. Jesulin's going to go for that Stuart. Now, really, does Jove want to start going for the Lukes as we saw before? Or is he just going to go straight for the Puma and anticipate what Jesulin's teching is going to be?
Mission accomplished. Point secure.
Armor here. Ambulance ready for action.
Oh, yep, Jove going to go for that Luke's. And I think again, when the Stuart is revealed, Jesulin does this a little bit too early. We might see the change to the Puma.
Enemy infantry.
Might.
We're losing a capture point.
Actually, if the Lukes does come on the field, Jesulin's going to have a bit more of the mobile vehicle advantage here.
Standing by.
Well,
Ready. Send orders.
everything's looking good for Jesulin.
Weapon rack is now
Has his
accessible.
healing up in the base. We've just seen that the weapon rack has been unlocked, so whether that means we're going to see the infantry with anti-tank, or whether we're going to see a bit more firepower in the form of bars. Jesulin has just invested into that tech. Shreks have been upgraded onto the Stern Pioneers. And I think that's how Jove is going to try and deal with the Stuart WC-51 combination. He's got the mobile AT, the Stern Pioneers, the heavy anti-infantry with the Lukes. And the Stuart isn't going to want to dive onto the Lukes. So I think actually that's worked quite well for Jove. Should buy him a little bit of time. He's building up fuel. I fully expect he's going to go for the Puma again. Might even want to salvage the Kubel if he's paying attention. Jove just trying to play the map around Jesulin's push through the center and threaten those fuel points and VPs. VPs has been something Jesulin just hasn't been on top of in this series. A lot of the games we see, Jesulin is always 150 VPs down at the start. WC-51 I think has got to chase this MG-42 down there, but of course equipped with the bazookas. Its role is pretty much just to get on top of the Lukes. And there goes the Kubel. Shame, because I was hoping that that could be a little bit of extra fuel for Jove, who is now going for the Puma. Jesulin's got to think about combating this, and I think he is actually picking up more bazookas at the moment. We already saw that there were 2 in the echelons. Does he have the second bazooka on the lieutenant? He does. This is very effective against Jove's mechanized build in game 2. Not much has changed in game 4.
Make sure it ain't locked and low
Here
this
comes the
time.
decap from Jesulin. Very good at controlling the map this way, Jove. Does need to be careful. He has spent all of his resources now into mechanized, so losing resources at this stage would make it difficult for him to keep up. Here come the Zooks and the WC-51. I love the way that Jesulin is using that. Puma is silly to try and go in there.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Counter! Shake it out. We're moving. And bring that damn Browning up here.
Interesting to note, by the way, there is a mortar half-track for Jesulin. Had a great game with the austere half-track in the previous game. I think that was actually trying to get the Stern Pioneers out of their cover position. Zook is actually doing really well against the green cover. Knocking the Stern Pioneers out there. Puma, I think, is going to go in here for the WC-51. Jesulin has just left this slightly unguarded.
A capture point is under attack. Our supply line just got cut off. A capture point is being overrun.
Oh, this is bad. This is bad from Jesulin. He didn't reverse the unit. That's terrible. Wouldn't be surprised if the Lukes just popped in there and tried to pick that off. I think actually even the Volksgrenadiers were able to deal with that.
Light vehicle just got destroyed.
Poor reactions from Jesulin on this occasion.
Crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured.
And really, what has happened to that map control that we saw from Jesulin earlier? Seems to have completely lost grip on the map.
The Germans just cut off our supply lines. Rifle squad ready for
And
action.
Jove hasn't made a commander pick yet. But I expect that he could go again for ground offensive. Try to bring out a late game Tiger. He's now got the resources to actually tech up to a Panzerschwerer headquarters and then just bank fuel and focus on infantry engagements until that unit comes out. But one thing we do have that Jesulin could use if he does build up the resources is combined arms. Always really keen to see players using this and pushing the map. Could be a very dominant ability. Lieutenant, gotta get some great hits off there. Stuart's ready to finish. Gets a lovely little shot before the sight blocker comes in. The Raketen spotted. Stuart's gonna try and get away from it. Lieutenant needs to hit the Puma. Jesulin a little bit slow there. I think some of the squad members are running away. The Stuart actually goes down because of that.
Got destroyed.
And Jesulin's going to be really unhappy at losing the Stuart there. In fact, the management of that engagement wasn't particularly great. Jesulin now going for that strategic point again. Wants to try and reclaim the map. And the map is just going blue, red as each player just dives on top of each other. Now it's Jove who has no resources again.
On your feet.
Nice incendiary on top of the green cover hay bale. Also got incendiary rounds from the MG34 there. Trying to deal with the 50 cal in the center.
Half track is ready for
Here's the SWS from Jove. I think what he decides to go here will be telling. Might be Battle Grouper, so he stops having to use the Stern Pioneers for healing. Could be Panzerschwerer if he wants to go Grand Offensive, and given the way that it's going on the map, I'm pretty sure at this point he's going to be going for Panzerschwerer. Really not sure if the Stuart went down to the Raketten, which was positioned around here, or whether it was a kind of a long, godly shot from the Puma, but... Actually, yeah, it wouldn't be the Puma, it would be the Raketten getting the final kill. This goes to show you Jove is much better on the positioning than Jesulin's been. Great foresight for where these units are driving and retreating to. Here's marked target on the Puma. The bazookas go in. Echelons pile out. Have they got it in them to fire off 2 more shots? Unfortunately, they don't. Tier 4 OKWs just spotted by the Echelons. And it's nearly completed in the build. Jesulin's got to be careful here. He could lose the Echelons. This is risky. I'm not sure why he's decided to do this. You see straight away Jove is going for the Panzer authorization.
The enemy has cut our supply chain.
Flak cannon would have been sufficient, but... Well, Jesulin has managed to keep on top of Jove's resources. He's going to go for another decap here to make sure that Jove isn't getting any of the high resource fuel points. And the map is just patchwork. It is constantly changing. I'd be interested to see the points held here. You see it's going up and down constantly. And it does make it hard to actually tell who is in the lead here. Who's got the tech advantage. I would actually say Jesulin, he's got 700 manpower at the moment. Should definitely be diving into tech soon. In fact, yes, he is. Now he's going for the Sherman.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
And still no pick from Jove. Was yeah, recon flight from the Major there, so Jesulin I think trying to scout out what Jove has in his base. Jove's about to build some Obersoldaten. He'll be really good at dealing with the infantry on long range. He decides to go for the LMG. The way that the build that Jove is playing makes me think, he's going to go for Grand Offensive, he's going to get the STGs, he's going to get the Tiger. But he hasn't actually hit that button yet, so I can't actually say what the choice is going to be. Sherman, however, is now on the map. This is one of the benefits of playing the US faction. They're a bit more accurate when firing on the move, so their tanks are really, really good to actually roam the map and try to pick off infantry units. I think they only get a 25% accuracy debuff, whereas most tanks on the move when firing get 50. So, Always good, actually. You can keep moving around with that unit, keep trying to dodge the Rakettans and the snares. This is great Rakettan play from Jove, though. He's firing through the hedgerow. Trying to just land any shot he can on the Sherman. This is a really bad place to repair. Balls of steel from Jesulin. I certainly wouldn't be repairing on the front line. There's the spot of the Obersoldat, and Jove has finally now picked ground offensive doctrine. He's still going to go for the MG34, which is actually a pretty good choice on this map. The Sherman really has nothing to fear here. Easily dodge the Rakettan, but choosing not to do so.
Welcome to the Death Factory, boys. Stick with me and you might just...
We're losing a capture point.
Watch for my signal.
It's always good when the major of the army runs back into the base alone. I promise I was on the front line.
Our supply line just got cut off.
I just happened to be lucky.
We just got
A capture point is under attack.
field promotion.
Late retreat from Jesulin here on this building in the center. I don't think Jesulin's noticed he's not unpacking. Bit late, but I think he might be lucky in getting that squad away.
Our supply line just got cut off.
They're a real muscle strategy to get Jove off of these parts of the map. Big unit on the field now is going to be the Obersoldat. That's going to be the unit that...
Krauts are taking one of our points.
It's going to be the unit that the Sherman should really be focusing. Because that's definitely going to be wiping some models before the US can even get close to the OKW infantry forces. Cavalry riflemen are going to try and get on top of the Obersoldat, and there is of course an MG34 ready to suppress there. Jove has just managed to call in the Tiger as well. Jesulin's only going for a Sherman 76mm. Be a little bit of a mismatch in terms of field armor. In the last game we saw a pretty good response to the Tiger in the form of the Jacksons. Let's see if we have any tricks up our sleeve this time. Jove is completely prepared for the flank. Got the Rakettan and the Puma ready for a unit like this. And both these units will actually try to come in and finish it off. That's a great smoke pop by Jesulin. Able to pop smoke and retreat through it. Jove's going to be forced to do the same. Now, the 76mm was cancelled. Jesulin is now going for the Jackson. That's a sensible choice.
What the hell am I? Armor contact! Major under
Points are down to 300.
Grab your shit and follow me.
Prepare for combat. Really nice positioning from the MG34 in the game.
Jove's support play has actually been really top-notch. It's allowed him to get the Stuart early on in the game. It's allowed him to suppress multiple flanks. You have the Jackson on the field now. Tiger's being lured onto the right-hand side. We just saw a squad wipe there. There's Volks Grenadiers. Now here's a really good moment for the Jackson to get involved. Jackson can actually now fire through the hedgerow. Going to take those guest shots. Jove, I think, is going to try and return them, but it doesn't work. At the moment, we're all about the Jackson veterancy climb. Definitely want to try to unlock those HVAC rounds. That's a really nice pickup from the Sherman. Rear echelons here dive on top of the Obersoldaten. I think they're not actually doing too badly. The reload time of the LMG makes this fight pretty ridiculous. Cavalry riflemen might want to try and get a snare on here, but definitely don't want to lose the squad. Another big hit from the Jackson. This is really good from Jesulin. He's now kind of singled out that Tiger. Jove just hasn't really moved it. I think that's poor form for Jove, really. He doesn't want to be taking shots like that. He needs to be repairing a bit further back.
We're losing a capture point.
The Puma just a little bit slow there.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Paying attention to the Lukes. I think Jove is a little bit more concerned on the Tiger. Jesulin's actually not in a bad position to engage right now. I think he's a little bit threatened. If you have a look at his map vision, you can see that he doesn't get the picture that we're seeing. Probably looks a lot more threatening for him.
What the hell am I meant to do with these recruits? Green is green can be. The squad is back. I'll straight. Grab your shit and follow me. Even if you don't wait for it to contact! Enemy armor!
Prepare to execute.
Jove, I think, taking some guest shots. It's a good thing with the OKW build, having the tier 4 over there covering the VP. Jove has a lot more vision on the map. Allows him to make much better decisions. I think Jesulin's got to try and get more of a spread of units. Got to get more sight, more of an idea that he can actually flank. That he has actually got really good position to make things work. He's definitely got the composition to deal with the Tiger build here. It's a really nice play with the Sherman. Is he going to continue going for it?
The enemy now has 200 points.
Target secured!
They dialed us in!
It's such a dance. I don't think Jesulin really wants to push just in case he loses one of these units and he's got a long way to go before he can rebuild. At the moment, there's just veterancy trade after veterancy trade. This is only going to benefit Jove, though, the longer that Jesulin takes.
The capture point is under attack.
Enemy tank is moving to us!
Our supply line just got cut off.
Jackson wasn't on vehicle only mode, ended up taking a random shot against infantry. There's the veteran C2 as it connects with the Tiger. It's a big hit. Lieutenants here just going to waste models really against the Obersoldat, and you don't want to be giving veterancy to this squad. It is going to turn into something fearsome as the game goes on. Jesulin's going to bring out an AT gun. I actually think this is one of the most sensible decisions he's made so far in this game. He needs something to hold off the Puma and the Lukes, whilst the Sherman and the Jackson focus on the Tiger. And the AT gun is absolutely the unit to do that.
Okay, fire away.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Coming up on the flank! Get in front of them!
Major, I believe, just dropping artillery on that building in the center. It's a good flank.
All sectors. Ability now ready.
Getting blast from over here!
This AT gun could probably try destroy this building, stop those Obersoldat and getting a vantage position. If anything, it would be the Sherman.
Hands up here, ready for action.
Faust isn't going to do anything. Sherman being at full health. Jesulin still has time. A Panther IV has just come on the field. But Jesulin does still have time. Jove is pop-capped now and cannot deviate from this build. Jesulin still has a little bit of a wriggle move. USF can also break pop-cap by hopping out of their vehicles, so there is still opportunity. US AT gun, I think, actually penetrated there. Jove is looking to indirect fire. Really, it's just so unfortunate. Jesulin just cannot get grip on the map at all. You've got a Panzer IV, which looks like it's heading for the base at the moment. And this is going to really hurt Jesulin. It's just going to waste so much time. Jesulin managed to get some VP control, though. He's managed to push Jove a bit off of the right-hand side. But he's going to have to retreat from there pretty quickly. Panzer IV finds itself in a really bad situation. Jackson tries to block it in, but it isn't going to work. These shots have to penetrate. The Puma is taking an aimed shot. That might just stop the Jackson getting that final shot, but the body of the tank is rotated to allow the Jackson to finish. Puma in a bit of a bad situation now. That was well handled by Jesulin. I'm actually pleased with that. It was well managed. It was so close to that Jackson going down to the last shot by the Puma. Jove's been really lucky with his vehicles in this game. That was for once Jesulin having a bit of his own luck. Sherman, this is a dive, and this is totally unnecessary. Bring back one of their men for interrogation. Beautiful indirect fire from the Tiger, just helping to clear that AT gun. Jesulin's going to have to build that again. So Jesulin's infantry just aren't cutting it at the moment. The Sherman has got to do so much work. And it's the infantry really that need to deal with the Tiger. Whilst the Sherman deals with the infantry. And Jackson struggling to poke its head in.
We've dropped to 100 points. Our supply line just got cut off.
Oh, there's the 100 VP mark. This is all or nothing for Jesulin now. It's a 2-1 situation. Jove only needs 91 VPs taken down to win. And I don't think Jesulin has much choice other than run in Deal as much damage as you can. Artillery might actually help getting this squad.
Our capture point is being overrun.
Again, where is the Jackson in these moments? What is the Jackson doing back here? It was already at full health. Whatever the Jackson is doing back here is really not good. It's almost like Jesulin is waiting for Jove to push before playing any engagements. And that is really not the smart thing to be doing here. Sherman, dangerous risk of going down. I don't think Jesulin has noticed. He's very lucky that the Puma didn't hit that shot. But this one does connect. Sherman's down. Now it's just the Jackson. And I think Jesulin has had enough at this point. He's got nothing on the field to play with. His infantry aren't strong enough. Jove's about to get the Panther. And Jesulin is just too slow. He just does not want to do anything against Jove. Has shown real fear in this matchup. And just to finish this off, I think Jove has enough pop cap to go for the Panther. No real chance of the Jackson being effective now.
Incoming tank! Counterfire! Our supply lines have been cut.
It has been a really, really nice series so far. Games 1, 2, 3. Phenomenal. This one, I think maybe Jesulin a little bit tired. But he's still in it. He's still fighting. Gonna go for a second Jackson. I really don't know how much time he's got for this. He's also not focusing on VPs. I'm not sure what the strategy is with the cavalry rifleman. Maybe he's trying to get sight for the Jackson. I think that's because there is a snare. So, not a bad move really, but of course, Puma's got eyes on that Jackson. Where is the support for this unit? This could be the only chance to take the Puma down. He should have got the crew out of the Jackson there. Unfortunately, no. Vet 3 Jackson thrown away. Totally unnecessary.
Ready for deployment.
Task complete.
And that is such a shame. Nearly had 2 Jacksons to try and help deal with the vehicle presence in this game. Just not able to pull it off. Fortunately though, Jesulin buys himself a little bit of time with the VPs. There's no grenades teched on the rifleman, so when he gets in close range with these Obersoldaten, this is a great grenade. When Jesulin actually goes in close, he isn't able to do that. Pretty much just handing the advantage to Jove here in terms of the engagements. Like you have to have those tools available to keep your opponent on his toes. Otherwise, he's just going to leave the squad standing there on Vet 4, picking off your models. And I think it's safe to say at this point that we are going to be seeing Jesulin depart from the tournament. I can't see any way at this moment that he's going to pull this back. Vet 5 on everything from OKW. Oh no, what's going on here? Oh, that went really, really bad for Jesulin. One more shot from the Jackson could be beneficial, but doesn't connect. With both Jacksons down, it is up to an ambulance, lieutenant, captain, and 50 cal to somehow take this game. I don't think we're going to see it. I'm going to call it here. Jesulin's even running in with the medic squad. Armed and ready. What is happening here? Just trying to waste time? Bad form, Jesulin. Bad form. I'm not sure whether this is an intentional retreat to heal in safety, or whether this is a time-wasting strategy. But it's been a great series. Jove is going to be the victor. It's the first tournament for a long time that I think he's shown this kind of quality of play. Previous rank 1 in all factions. He has taken down Jesulin in the round of 16. You will be seeing him in tomorrow's quarterfinals. GG. Jove is through. Jesulin is out.